Welcome to Net Rush Report. Emma Raducanu has officially accepted a main draw wildcard for the WTA 500 Ningbo Open, beginning on October 13th. For the 22-year-old Brit, this is not just another tournament. It is a calculated step in her rebuilding phase, a chance to test herself against some of the world's most elite players, and a symbolic return to a region she's increasingly making central to her career strategy. This announcement comes at a crucial moment. Raducanu had just completed her first post-US Open appearance in Seoul, only to fall to Barbara Krejcikova in the round of 16. While that run was shorter than expected, it did reveal glimpses of improvement under her new coach, Francisco Roig, the longtime right-hand man of Rafael Nadal. Now, the spotlight intensifies as Raducanu eyes a challenging 3-week stretch across Asia: Beijing, Wuhan, and finally Ningbo. For fans, analysts, and critics alike, this stretch could define the closing chapters of her 2025 season. Unlike her appearances in Beijing and Wuhan, where the magnitude of WTA 1000 tournaments guarantees star power and pressure, Ningbo carries a different significance. This is Raducanu's maiden appearance in Ningbo, though she was initially slated to play in 2024 before injuries forced her withdrawal. That unfulfilled commitment adds a narrative layer: unfinished business. For athletes like Raducanu, tournaments often symbolize more than matches. They embody comebacks, milestones, and redemption arcs. The 2025 Ningbo field is stacked: Zheng Qinwen, Elena Rybakina, Jessica Pegula, Mira Andreeva, Amanda Anisimova, and more. Each opponent represents not only a tactical challenge, but also a chance for Raducanu to reassert herself in a competitive hierarchy she once shook to its core. Why Asia? Why now? Raducanu's decision to commit heavily to Asia is strategic. These tournaments give her maximum court time against high-caliber opponents without the overwhelming spotlight of Wimbledon or the US Open. More importantly, they allow her to fast-track chemistry with her new coach. Her decision to skip the Billie Jean King Cup finals stirred criticism, particularly in Britain, where national representation in tennis carries emotional weight. Yet Raducanu's explanation was revealing. It was a truly difficult decision. I love the BJK Cup so much. However, the Korea Open was a crucial time for me to get in sync with my new coach, Francis. This wasn't an evasion of duty, but an acknowledgement of timing. Emma Raducanu's career right now isn't about loyalty headlines. It's about survival and long-term competitiveness. Point one cannot overlook the significance of Francisco Roig in this journey. Roig, who spent 17 years working with Rafael Nadal, brings a wealth of experience in handling high-pressure moments, injury management, and tactical versatility. For Raducanu, who has cycled through coaches at a dizzying pace since her US Open breakthrough, Roig represents something different: stability. Roig's approach emphasizes building fundamentals over chasing immediate results, something Raducanu sorely needs. Critics argue she should have prioritized national duty, but Raducanu is betting on the bigger picture. The Asian swing is essentially her classroom, and every match, win or lose, is part of the lesson plan that it's impossible to discuss Raducanu without revisiting her meteoric rise. In 2021, she captured the US Open title as a qualifier, making history as the first player, male or female, to do so. That fairy tale triumph cemented her as a global icon overnight. Yet since then, her career has been riddled with injuries, inconsistency, and intense scrutiny. From the outside, critics have labeled her fragile or overrated. From the inside, her journey reveals a different truth. She's a 22-year-old navigating the weight of impossible expectations while rebuilding her body, mind, and game. Ningbo, in this light, isn't just a tournament. It's a stage for Emma Raducanu to rewrite her narrative, not as the one-hit wonder, but as a determined fighter shaping her second act. The Ningbo Open won't hand Raducanu any easy draws. Facing Zheng Qinwen in China means facing a local superstar with home support. Elena Rybakina, a Wimbledon champion, represents power and consistency. Jessica Pegula offers relentless baseline control, while young prodigy Mira Andreeva embodies the fearless energy Raducanu herself once wielded. Each potential matchup is not only a battle of skills, but also a litmus test of Raducanu's progress. Can she sustain intensity through multiple rounds? Can her body hold up across consecutive tournaments? Can her mind silence the noise and focus solely on the court? The wild card into Ningbo is not merely a ticket. It's an invitation to prove herself. Wildcards carry symbolic weight in tennis. They are both opportunities and responsibilities. Tournament organizers see marketability and potential, while fans see expectations. For RADUCANU, every wildcard is a reminder of both her past glory and her unfinished future, but she thrives under pressure, or at least, she once did. Her US Open title run was born out of freedom, fearlessness, and nothing to lose. The challenge now is rediscovering that mentality while carrying the burden of fame. To understand why RADUCANU'S Asian swing is important, one must appreciate Asia's rising influence in tennis. With major tournaments in Beijing, Wuhan, and now Ningbo, Asia has become a cornerstone of the WTA calendar. For players, the region offers exposure to new fan bases, lucrative sponsorships, and invaluable competitive opportunities. For RADUCANU, whose heritage ties back to Romania and China, the Asian tournaments resonate on a personal level. Competing in China isn't just about tennis. It's also about connecting with part of her cultural identity, building bridges with fans who see her as more than just a British athlete. RADUCANU'S 2025 season has been experimental by design. Injuries forced her to rethink scheduling, while coaching shifts demanded flexibility. This Asian stretch, culminating in Ningbo, is less about titles and more about benchmarks. Fitness benchmark. Can she play back-to-back tournaments without physical setbacks? Tactical benchmark. How well is she absorbing Roig's coaching philosophy? Mental benchmark. Is she finding consistency and focus despite outside noise? If the answer is yes to even two of these, then the season is a success. Regardless of trophies, by the time RADUCANU steps onto the court in Ningbo, the narrative won't just be about winning or losing. It will be about resilience, adaptation, and growth. Whether she advances deep into the draw or exits early, this wildcard appearance signals something important. Emma Raducanu is still fighting, still evolving, and still unwilling to be written off. Emma Raducanu's story has always been about more than tennis. It's about defying expectations, stumbling under pressure, and finding ways to rise again. As she heads into Ningbo, she carries not just a wild card but a world of questions, hopes, and unfinished dreams. And here on Net Rush Report, we'll be following every serve, every rally, and every twist of her journey. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more breaking stories from the world of tennis. Until next time, this is Net Rush Report, signing off.